I have to change this. There we go. Okay, I almost forgot to change the audio track. Oh, that was a close one.
Oh my god.
Dodged a bullet there. Almost did the same thing I did in the opening round. Ay, ay, ay.
Hey.
Right, 10, 15 seconds. Then we should be good to go. Alrighty, boys. Ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It's SERL Season 10, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the Tier 1 Singapore Grand Prix. And it is going to be the 5th round of the season. We also have Tier 2 coming up, Silverstone round 6 in 2 days' time. Same time, 8 PM GMT on every Wednesday. And Tier 1's every Monday. And of course, before we get into qualifying, of course, check out the Discord if you like to join the community, you know, racing, you know, being a driver or commentating or, you know, staff or anything like that. You should definitely check it out. And of course, as well, if you're not really bothered watching the whole stream, which is fair enough, it's a very long stream, we have race highlights as well, and we also have pole laps as well, so we have all that good stuff. And yeah, I guess we'll get into qualifying here as everyone comes out of the pits for their first out laps. I'm gonna just double check that I did that properly. I always seem to do something wrong with the graphics, but I think everything's smooth there.
Looks fine. Looks fine.
I think everything's good. Yeah, just have everyone going on the hot laps. Feral dude, is it Haggy Taggy or Hacky Tacky? Because I said Haggy Taggy last time and everyone ripped me to shreds for it.
I am not sure. I've said Haki Taki as well.
Yeah. Joe, it was funny because I said Hacky Taggy or Haggy Taggy at first, and then you said Hacky Taggy, and then I misheard you and thought you said Haggy Taggy, so then I started calling him Haggy Taggy for the whole stream, and everyone was like, why are you calling him that? It's not his name.
His name that.
Yeah.
It's Haki Taki for me.
Hacky Taggy. Yeah, no, I think it is Hacky Taggy. I just misheard you because I was concentrating on the race, and because I have terrible hearing anyway, so I thought you said Haggy Taggy, and I was like, oh, yeah, let me just ignore his written name and just call him Haggy Taggy instead. Made a lot of sense.
But he's going on his first flyer now. Gotta go through the final sector here, and then he's gonna warm up the tires and head through the last corner, which is actually pretty difficult. Pretty easy to spin on. As he's gonna go into turn 1 now. Braking just after the 100. He's gonna touch the curb on the inside to get the traction. Not the rotation at least. And looks pretty decent from what I see. Pretty decent first sector.
Yeah, pretty good first sector there from Hacky Taggy. As we come now into, I believe it's turn 7 here. It's pretty tricky to get Singapore right. It's very easy, I think,
to get. Yeah,
Oh,
that's an invalidation.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's quite tricky with the track limits there. You know, you really want to try to take up as much track as you can, but of course, it is very easy on some of these corners to just go out that little bit wide, and that can be super frustrating, and especially it can really take you out of the flow of qualifying sometimes, I think, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you think about the track limits all the time.
With the Aston Martin here as well on his lap. Professional shitter. Okay, I don't know who this guy is, but
That's crampy.
that is crampy. Okay, yeah, I was very confused there. I was like, oh yeah, he's very professional, of course, but
A professional shitter, that he is indeed. It looks quite decent for the second sector here, as he's gonna head into the third sector now, I think.
I think he set a fastest purple sector, fastest sector too, I believe.
Yeah.
From what I saw.
Yeah, it looks quite decent, as he's actually downshifting the last corner. That's looked very under the limit.
But he is going to set the first lap of the session, 137.1. We'll see how everyone else fares, of course.
Yeah.
We have a few more drivers coming across the line. Remco behind him, about two tenths off there. P2. Farrell did find him as well by a whole second actually. I think he might have had a bit of an issue actually. I think during his lap.
That was definitely a pole lap by Mills. That was provisional at least. Very decent. As you can't see anything on the stream.
Can't see anything.
No, it says stream starting soon.
Oh no! I know what I did there. My bad. I actually clicked the wrong button. Okay, that wasn't there for long. My bad.
Yeah.
But thank God you pointed that out.
Yeah, Rico
fat finger
is the provisional pole now. Decent lap by him.
As we have his teammate Fischer, who steals provisional pole now, 136.5.
That's better than pole in tier 2, I think.
I would
like
imagine
quite a
so.
margin. No, not by much. It's like
40
milliseconds or something. It's very
quite close. I mean, we have
qualifying year.
Yeah, at Joe Mollers, I think. That was just
Yeah.
Joe Mollers setting the lap time now in 4th place.
Yep.
For some reason, I can't see the lap times there. I need to fix that. Not sure what that is. There we go. Fastest lap. Yeah, so Joe Mollers sets a 136.9. He's currently for P4 here. He won last time out in Australia from all the way down the back of the grid. It was a really impressive performance. And we'll see what he can do here. So far, though, Fischer, unfortunately did have a tough time in Australia, but he is currently on provisional pole, so it's a good sign so far from Fischer on the first run of the session. We have about just under 12 minutes left to go, and we'll see, already on their first runs, they're almost just as quick as Tier 2, so we'll see how much the track evolves with the second and third runs, of course.
Yeah, definitely a lot of track evolution around the street track, so it's definitely gonna be interesting later on. If people can adapt to the better grip.
Dilly Jones coming into the pits now. Just trying to see if there's anyone coming out on starting a hot lap here. Gian comes into the pits. I believe Blind does as well.
Dassen is on the hard tire.
Dason's on the hard tire.
Yeah.
Interesting. He could be trying to save a set of softs, but I'm not really sure what the strategy is there behind him. Maybe he's struggling with tire temperatures. I know that's something that a lot of drivers have been complaining about on this track. Yeah. I'm not sure what that is about, but especially in Tier 2 as well, some drivers were complaining about that. And that can be a bit of an issue, because then you kind of have to sacrifice performance or tire wear just to keep those temperatures in a stable working condition. So it's not really ideal, but yeah, we'll see what Jason can pull out here on those hards.
You might just be doing a bit of practice in the quali session. A bit of race pace swim. I just gotta head up to the last turn now.
See what lap time he posts. A 142.3. A good few seconds off Farrell. It's very close, Almost got provisional pole there.
Yeah, he's just doing some race pace performance here. He's just checking the grip. As Marco is disqualified.
Marco disqualified from qualifying.
What is going on?
Exit a turn. I'm not sure what turn
that's under the bridge.
Third sector. Just before the bridge, I believe. I think he
might have ran deep and then had to come on the track again.
Tried to reverse, yeah. I think tried to spin around there, couldn't quite figure it out, and that's them out of qualifying, back of the grid for the Red Bull. Not exactly a qualified session to remember for them, for sure. We'll have to
Red Bull domination anyways.
Just trying to make it easier for the competition, Just going
easy. They gotta have a chance,
Yeah, to make it interesting.
Yeah.
Farrell did left session. I wonder, does Farrell need an invite? Let's try and get one here if I have them. Yes.
Yeah. Hagi is on a lap now as well. And he's going through the first sector. He's actually hooking up way better this time, Hagi. Yes. He's much closer to the limit, especially in the first few corners. And he's a bit over the limit as well, as he's gonna go down into big turn 4, as he's gonna post exact same time first sector as before.
And he managed to not invalidate that time as well. So he learned from the mistake there. We'll see what they can do for the rest of the lap.
Yeah, this definitely looks like he's trying to test the limits. He's not pushing to the limit. I think he's trying to keep something in the reserves just to be able to get that extra 10th in the last run, as he's running pretty close to the walls here, especially into that hairpin.
Really just on the limit here. I think that increased grip now from everyone doing their first runs, I think it's given Hakitagi a lot more confidence as they set purple sector 2.
Yeah, and he's really over the curves here as well, as he's gaining the grip, getting up to grips with the third sector now, as he wasn't really pushing on his after invalidated. So he's gonna be trying to
really pushing here on the limit, really trying to get a good lap in.
Oh, he almost went there.
What's it going to be for Hakitaki? It's going to be a provisional P3, 136.870. It's a pretty solid lap there from Hakitaki.
Yeah, that's not too shabby. Not too shabby.
I think there's always room for improvement, of course. I think every driver will be looking to gain that extra bit of time, but considering they weren't able to get their first run, I think it's a pretty solid lap anyway. At least they managed to get a time on the board.
Yeah, I think Crappy went up to P7 as well. With a 137.15.
You have yellow flags in Sector 3. I wonder, is that Ben Mills? No, it's the Alpine of Pawn. With Yaya, I think, close behind. I think they just invalidated their lap there, which is not ideal. Or maybe I know, I think they're just on
Might look like an out lap. Yeah.
Yeah. So Yaya's going to be starting his hot lap. Still hasn't set a valid lap time yet, so they'll really be wanting to set a lap time with this second run.
Oh. Yeah, a bit too much rotation there on the exit, as he was basically on the marbles already. But it looks quite decent up to that point. So we're gonna see what this first sector is gonna be. It's better than Hakitaki's, so definitely a decent first sector. And he's really close to the apex there as well. Looks really good here from Yaya, as he's gonna go through the second sector now. It's maybe the most technical corners here, I think.
Really, really tricky, I think. And again, just using up as much of the track as they possibly can. Every inch of track is going to be really crucial here to gaining lap time, as Rico comes across the line, provisional pole, as Fischer snatches it right back with a 135.9, and a Desi improving ahead of Rico for provisional P2, 136.037, as I think that's going to be the Mercedes of Dason, who's going into the pits, still on hard tires. Not really sure what that's about. Yeah, still on their lap, still has not invalidated, which is going to be really crucial. They're going to come around this last corner. We're going to see what time they set.
Ooh, that was close.
It's going to be a really great lap there from Yaya. He gets ahead of his teammate of 136.008. Very, very close there to the provisional pole. That was a really great lap from Yaya.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more time in the last corner there. He almost slid out of the last corner. He lost quite a bit of time there, I think.
Yeah, I think provisional pole was definitely on the cards here. A lot of drivers battling it out fiercely for pole position. This is still not over. We still have one more run of hot laps to go. This is going to be really, really tight, I think, between a few of these drivers, especially between AlphaTauri and McLaren. Seem to be the two favourites here, at least for pole position. But of course, the points are earned in the race, not in quali, so we'll see how that pans out as well.
Yeah. I don't know if you can invite Feral Dude. I think he disconnected.
Yeah, I sent an invite there to him. I'll send another one. Yeah, I think he's joined the session there.
Yeah. So I think he's got time for another run. Yeah. As he's just hit the wall. That was almost him out of qualifying.
Very, very close there from Yaya. Gonna have to back out of that and head back into the pits. I'm trying to see who is that? No, that is... I don't know who that is. I think that's PW Jones, maybe? Ben Mills. That is Ben Mills.
Yeah, John's still in the pits. And Mills
John's
under
still in
the
the pit.
bridge.
So Ben's gonna be coming in. So I think... Trying to see who is still out. I think... Second Alfa Romeo is currently on a lap. But I think that's gonna be... I think it's gonna be Joe Mullers who's gonna be the first one to set a lap here on their final runs. As Ben retires from the session. So provisional P6 for Ben. But it's gonna be likely that some of these drivers are gonna be improving on his time.
Definitely.
So... I guess
Jones
he's maybe...
is stuck in the pits now. Never able to get out because Ben is in the pits.
It's very interesting. So Jones is going to be held up then by his teammate. Dayton retires from the session. I don't think that's a surprise considering they were only doing laps on hards.
Just a bit of race practice. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but Joe is...
So Joe Mullers will be the first driver out of the rest of the pack to start their final hot lap of the session. We'll see what he can do here. He won last time out. Last round. We'll see what the reigning SERL champion can do here. Currently P7. And a very good opportunity here to improve their time. Almost a whole second off the current provisional pole time.
He's definitely at the limit there with the car twitching. That's actually quite a decent first sector. He's it's way better first sector than Yaya had, and he's really committing on this lap. You can tell by the way he's driving the car and using the track.
He is right on the limit, especially using up all the track on the exit. Using up a good bit of the curb, but not too much. This is a really, really tricky part of the track as well to get right. You really need to... You just gotta nail it, honestly. It's super, super tricky, but... I think this is where you can find a lot of time, because... If you really get on the limit, if you can find exactly where to go... You really, really get a lot of time there.
Yeah, I think you made a bit of a mistake, because you're not too much up now. But it might be all in the last sector.
It's going to be all or nothing here for Joe Mullers. It's going to be his last chance to set a really good lap here. He's going to have to give it everything he can. As he rounds the second last corner here. As he approaches the final corner. And it's going to be a 136.6 for Joe Mullers. Provisional P5. Blind also finishes the session in P13. We're going to see what everyone else is trying to do. PW Jones, 4/10 up on his best. Crampy, P4 here. Really good lap, 136.393. As Jones finishes sector 1 there. He's up a lot of time there. We'll see what he can do. He's down in 10th place. Hacky Taggy is going to be finishing his qualifying with a 136.8. So he's going to be starting behind Joe Mullers here. Right smack bang in the middle of the midfield. Pearl Dude, his qualifying's over as well. 137.38. Down in 14th. Not a great showing for Alfa Romeo. PW Jones 3/10 up on his best time here. Fish is still holding on to provisional pole. And Guillen has retired from the session as well. That is Yaya letting through the Mercedes.
Yeah, he backed out. And Jordan's gonna be going through the last corner now. As it looks to be P7. That's quite close to Joe Mo's.
Yeah, it's going to be a 136.6 there, just behind Joe Muller's, but ahead of Hacky Taggy. Adesi also has finished his qualifying, and so does Fisher. I think a lot of these drivers might be saving a set of soft tires there, as they set really, really good laps on their second runs. So as it stands right now, Fisher will be taking pole position, unless someone else comes in and snatches it from him. But I don't think anyone will. I think that is going to be Fisher with pole position here in qualifying. With Yaya in second, ahead of his teammate Adesi. It's going to be a McLaren 2-3 with AlphaTauri first and fourth. So, kind of a two-team battle here for the race victory. A four-way battle, potentially. It's very, very close. Time isn't, you know... I think there's less than a tenth between the top three drivers for pole.
That's pretty close. Especially when we think McLaren have been up there in all the qualifyings, but they made some questionable strategies from time to time.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how they can convert it into the race. So Fisher takes pole position here, ahead of Yaya and Adesi, who round off the top three positions. Then it's Rico, Crampy, Joe Mollers, PW Jones, Hacky Taggy, Ben Mills, and Remco, who rounds off the rest of the points. Dyson, choosing to only do hards on this session, has sacrifices qualifying, but he will have a ton of softs to play around with, maybe potentially in the race. We'll see how it pans out for him. T unfortunately wasn't able to set a lap, as Makalako also retired very early on in the session, disqualified after going too deep into a corner and unable to recover. So we're going to see now how it pans out in the race. Singapore is quite a tricky track to overtake for sure, so I think getting a good qualifying is going to be really crucial. It's going to be a lot harder to make up positions if you're further down the field. But we'll see how it works out on lap 1. I think we are going to have a formation lap before we get started.
Yeah, we should have a formation lap.
Yeah, I think that issue was fixed. I think early on there was a lot of bugs related to formation laps, so we didn't have it turned on, but I think now it's all good. So just wait for everyone to join the lobby and get everyone set up.
Yeah, definitely gonna be crucial to choose the right tires to start on.
I think there's going to be a bit of variable strategy actually, so I think if we try to get the tires here, so Fisher, our pole sitters on hards, with Yaya on the hards as well. Desi and Rico decide to start on the mediums. Crampy on hards as well, then Joel with the mediums. Ben Mills is championship rival as well. I think still leading the Drivers' Championship if I'm not mistaken, with medium tires as well. And Jones and Hakataki, of course, on the hards as well.
This could be quite an interesting race with strategies and maybe even safety cars here. There's 100% gonna be a safety car when you think about it. That the fact it is Singapore, and as we saw in Tier 2, there's not too much between a virtual and a full safety car, because you can be all over the track here if you crash.
For sure, and again, because
Blind is finding out as he's spinning around.
Blind spinning around there. I didn't quite catch that, but yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, because I think, again, some drivers are having issues with tire temperatures, which is gonna make things interesting, because I think some drivers aren't having those issues. So trying to manage your tire temperatures, managing your pace at the same time, while of course defending fiercely from drivers behind, because everyone's going to be really desperate to get ahead. Any opportunity they can find, they're going to take, because they don't really come that often here in Singapore. But yeah, I think for sure there probably will be a safety car, or a virtual safety car, at least once, I think, during this race, because it's not quite easy to go side by side. I think it's very easy to get caught up in an incident break that a little bit too late, or maybe push someone just too much into a wall. I think it can be very easy to do that sometimes, especially on street circuits. So we'll see how it pans out. I think most drivers are going to be going for the one stop. I think just hards to mediums or mediums to hards.
Yeah, looks like a pretty standard strategy around Singapore. Especially if you suffer with the tire temps, you might stun in the hards.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the hards will be a lot easier to manage in terms of tire temperatures. The mediums have so much more pace as well, so drivers all in random places there. So we'll see how it works out now in the race. The last driver lines up on the grid. That's Makalako in 19th. Fish on pole. Let's see how it pans out. Oh, actually, we're still waiting for one more driver. That could be Datu or Pawn. We'll find out now in a moment.
It is Datu.
And there he goes, lines up on the grid. And it's lights out and away we go. Fisher getting off to a very nice start. The two McLarens going to be trying to battle it out here for second place. Fisher gets a very, very clean start. And he seems to stay ahead there. Desi, though, gets ahead of his teammate Yaya as Crampy Joel Mollers battling it out here. So many cars going side by side here. Crampy now into 5th place as Rico tries to have a look there on a Desi. But he still stays in 4th, and that is going to be yellow flags in Sector 1. I think there's a bit of contact. Joel gets back ahead of Crampy now back into 5th. Ben Mills up into 8th place. It's a nice clean start here. But I think that is Yaya defending vigorously there from Rico, but he's still in 3rd place here. Desi on those medium tires. It's worked out pretty well for him. Fisher, though, has had a very, very nice start. 1.4 second gap to the rest of the field. He got off really cleanly there. I think nobody really got into any incidents there. That was actually very clean.
Yeah, it looked to be very clean, as there was a bit of a moment between Giant and Blind, but oh, they're actually fighting still. They're still going side by side here, as they're putting on a show at the back of the grid, and that is Blind out of the race, as he is in the wall, and that is a safety car, and
so I gave him the commentator's curse there. Always happens. Every race, I say it's a clean start and someone dies. And that's Peter Jones in 17th.
It looks like he had an incident, maybe.
I wonder, did he get caught up in that blind crash?
No.
Jones getting really unlucky again. One of the most consistent drivers on the grid. And unfortunately has lost out again. Now down in 17th. He's got a long road ahead of him now. It's going to be full recovery mode for PW Jones. Fisher got a really nice start there, though. Nice and clean. No issues whatsoever. Adesi got the jump on his teammate Yaya. With the help of those mediums, again, it's going to be really crucial, I think, for Adesi to make up as much time as he can on the hard runners, while he has that tyre advantage, that grip advantage. And yeah, Rico's still in 4th as well.
I think even for the medium runners, this is pretty good, because they are able to maybe go that bit longer on these tires then, and it's gonna be easier to get the fuel down a bit, and maybe even then have a bit more pace now.
And it looks like the two Williams, Ben Mills, also lost out on the first lap. Now in 16th place. This is not a great performance here for Williams so far. This is not exactly the race start they would have hoped for. So they're going to be both fighting all the way from the back of the grid. Datu as well. I think serving a penalty of some kind. I think that's Datu actually out of the race. Oh, that's Yaya actually disconnecting from session. I'm going to see if I can re-invite them there. Send them multiple invites. Get those invites in before the safety car comes back out. I think it'll be a few laps until that happens.
Yeah, definitely one more lap. And Datu is so far behind.
I think Datu had to serve a penalty or something in the pits there. He was stuck there for a long time.
Yeah, and he still got a penalty now. I don't know what that's for. Looked like he sped into the pits, I think.
It was a very clean start for the most part until the incident there with Blind. We'll have to see maybe in the replay at some point in the highlights. You should definitely check out. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of the race pans out. Already a few incidents, unfortunately. I always give them the commentator's curse. It's real. I swear it's real.
The commentator's curse is always a thing. Especially when you talk about how clean it is.
I should just talk about how terrible the racing is, and maybe it'll just be the greatest race anyone's ever seen. That's always how it seems to work.
Might happen. As Yaya is back in the session now. As he's no longer a ghost car. As I think it might even go one more lap. Statu is still half a lap behind.
Yeah, and I think that's Mako as well, going back into the pits. I think they might be retiring from this race. I'm not sure. No, they're coming out of the pits there. I think the safety car will start without them, to be honest. I don't know how many more laps it's going to go. Datu 45 seconds behind. Still in the third sector, while the safety car now enters sector 2 on the next lap. So he's got a long, long way to go to catch up here.
Yeah, but Marco Lacco will definitely catch, I think.
Yeah, Marco Lacco is definitely approaching turn 7 down that straight. I think he'll definitely catch up in time. Statu leaves the session, except he didn't pit. I think he could get some sort of punishment for that. I think you do have to retire in the pits if you want to leave. So that could be an issue.
Just be a disconnect.
Could be a disconnect. I might actually try and avoid them there just in case.
Right, I think. Yeah.
Might actually have been a disconnect, you're right. I'm trying to think who made it up there. Feral Dude's in 8th. I can't remember where Feral Dude qualified. I think he qualified down in 14th. I think he made up a lot of... Actually, we could see how many positions people gained.
Yeah, he was 14th.
Yeah, Feral Dude gained 6 positions in just a lap. That was a really, really good start there from Feral Dude. Up into the lower end of the points. Yaya, Decent, and T all gaining 4 positions. I think, yeah, Jones and Ben Mills were the 2 biggest losers there off that start, losing 8 and 7 positions respectively. Not a great start there for the Williams. Really unfortunate stuff, but it's only lap 3. There's still a long way to go, so plenty of opportunity to make it back up the grid. Yeah, Crampy and Joel were battling it out there a little bit. I couldn't quite get all the action there. I was so confused because there were so many cars going wheel to wheel there. I didn't quite catch everything, but Joel and Crampy were battling it out there, swapping positions, but Joel managed to get ahead there before the safety car came out. So some really good racing so far. Just have to wait for the safety car to come in.
Yeah, that was in the lobby now again. As his AI is catching up to the field now.
I'm trying to see whereabouts. I think he's back at the back of the queue now. So I think that'll mean the safety car comes in at the end of this lap.
Definitely, yeah. As it's pretty important for the hard tire runners to get some temperature in, I think, under the safety car.
Yeah, especially on the end lap for the safety car. So we'll see. They're coming into, just came into sector 2. Still got a good bit of the lap left to go. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out for the race victory, because again, we have basically 2 teams battling it out here for the moment. 2 AlphaTauris and 2 McLarens, all in the top 4 positions. So far, it's been pretty good for McLaren, but we'll see how they can, if they can convert this result. Because currently 2nd and 3rd is a really, really good showing if they finish in that position, to be honest. That'd be really, really good for McLaren, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what Dutch is doing. I think he's staying a bit back.
Safety car is now coming in this lap finally. It's been a long 3 laps, but finally it will be over. And we'll see how everyone gets away on this restart. Fisher will be leading it, of course. And he's got to watch out for Desi, because Desi's on those mediums, and those mediums will actually last a good bit longer now thanks to that safety car. So he does got to watch out. Desi did get the jump on his teammate, so it's very possible he can do the same to Fisher as well. And we will see when Fisher decides to go.
I don't know why there's such a big gap behind, but Fisher's going now.
So Fisher,
2 seconds
nice thing to start.
gap behind.
There's a lot of battling going on. Hacky Taggy is looking to make a move here on Crampy, dives down on the inside. And there's also, there's a little bit of contact there between those two drivers, but Yaya battling it out here with Rico. There's a 3-car battle here. Joel is having a look here, trying to make a move. Doesn't quite make it though. And Yaya still holding on to 3rd. There's a good bit of battling down the back of the grid, as Ben Mills and PW Jones are battling it out there. PW Jones gets ahead into 15th. As we come now to turn 7. Bro, dude had a little look there.
Oh, Adesi is P4 now. I don't know what has happened.
Oh,
there.
that is Pawn. That is Crampy into the wall, as well as Pawn. I think there was an incident there. Now down in 17th place. And Feral Dude now up into 6th. But it's not going to be a safety car anyway, because we just had one. So Fisher still leading this Grand Prix, 8 tenths ahead of Adesi. And Yaya is actually outside DRS of Adesi, so it's going to be crucial that he tries to get back into that.
I will need to restart. My lobby was desynced, so...
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I figured that. I can send you an invite there.
Thank you.
No problem. So yeah, Desi has trying to get back. Fish has broken the DRS of Desi, which is going to be really crucial to try and lead this race and win it. And Desi has done the same to his teammate Yaya, and is now leading a new DRS train. So it's Rico P4, Joe Mollers P5, Feral Dude P6, making up a ton of positions since the start. Nobody quite able to make a move yet. They have this other... Yeah, yes, no friends. I don't know which driver this is, but they're in P9 at the moment. They're about 2 seconds behind Remco, so they're going to be leading. They're actually going to go wheel to wheel here with Gian. Gian had a look on the outside, goes for a switchback, has the ERS activated. Not quite able to make it. Joel had a bit of a look there on Rico. He might dive down the inside. It has a look there, but not quite close enough to make a move. Rico holding on to P4 for now. Ben Mills getting ahead of his teammate PW Jones. So for the top 5 drivers, it's been a pretty clean getaway for now. Again, Fish increasing that gap to 1.4 seconds. Adesi second ahead of his teammate as well. Yaya is just leading this train here of 3 cars of himself, Rico, and Joel. As Dason and Yaya Snowfriends and the Ferrari driver going wheel to wheel here, side by side through this corner. Dason's going to get ahead there. The Ferrari is still going to have a look there, but not quite able to get back ahead. Dason now into 9th. As Gian is also very, very close, all over the rear here of the Ferrari. DRS is going to be enabled now this lap. I think Yaya made a bit of a mistake there now. 2 seconds off his teammate's pace.
Yeah, I think the mediums might help, as Adesi is actually quite close with to the DRS now, as he's catching back up to Fisher.
And Joel and Rico now are going to have a look here. Rico is going to dive onto the inside of Yaya. Yaya giving him the space there, but he stays ahead for now. He's going defensive into this corner. And Rico is going to try to get some sort of switchback there, but he doesn't quite make the move yet.
Oh.
But Joel is all over the back of Rico. He might try to make a move here. He's going to go to the inside, but can't quite get ahead, and Rico stays in 4th place. But Joel might come back at him. Has a look there. But again, not able to make the move. Rico defending very nicely there. Still in P4. Desi is closing the gap here to Fisher now. Just 7/10 separating these drivers. Those mediums working really well here for Desi. We'll see what happens now as we start lap 8 here with Fisher. But Desi now cleanly in the DRS. He can actually save a bit of ERS now thanks to that gap. As Joel Mollers makes the move there on Rico now into 4th place. Nice clean overtake there for Joel. But Rico will probably come back at him here in this next corner. Yeah, kind of benefiting there from that battling though. Yeah. Joel will have to try and defend here, I think, maybe from Rico.
That's a bit of a too big of a gap, 5/10 there. But yeah, he didn't need to use any ERS, and he has better ERS levels than Joe. So looks quite alright for Yaya, especially when you think about the fact that he's on the hard tire.
And that is an incident there. Yeah, the other Ferrari driver that spotted into the wall there is Pond and PW Jones go wheel to wheel. PW Jones gets ahead there. And Ben Mills also got ahead there into 10th place. Now back into the points.
Yeah, that was Isaac who had an incident. I don't know with who, but might be the House of Gian. I'm not sure.
Hacky Taggy and Feral Dude going side by side down the straight into the next braking zone they go, and the Haas driver gets ahead of Feral Dude. But Feral is still having a look there, but he's gonna have to back out of that one. Oh, makes a little bit of contact there, but both drivers keep it on the track, and that is Hacky Taggy now into 6th place, ahead of Feral Dude, who's ahead of Remco. Fisher still holding on to 1st place here, even Adesi with the DRS. I think the mediums will start to fall away fairly in the next couple of laps, very slowly. So if Fisher can just hold on here to these next few laps, he could be smooth sailing.
There's a caution in sector 3 as that is Isaac who spun out of the last corner.
And Joel now gets ahead of Yaya Sanogo now into 3rd place, into the podium places. It's a solid move from Joel. Now Rico will try to have a look, see if he can make a move now as well in the next lap. But Yaya will have DRS now, so we'll see how Joel... Oh, that is Feral Dude actually being overtaken there by Remco. He's down to 7th. Just missing all of these overtakes. My TV direction is absolutely atrocious right now. Let's see if anyone's doing anything at the moment. I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit more before anyone tries to make a move.
I think Jones might set it up here on Gian, as Gian has made quite a bit of a mistake here. As yeah, Jones is ahead now. Quite an easy overtake when the driver is making a mistake, as he's gonna need to catch up a bit now to get the DRS of the next car.
You're absolutely right, and Joel has actually built a bit of a gap there to Yaya now, 1.5 seconds ahead. Now Yaya's going to be under pressure here from Rico. Rico had a look there, but he didn't quite make the move yet. He's going to wait, he's going to bide his time. Yaya going very deep there into that corner, but so does Rico there, locking up just a little bit. I think Yaya's really struggling out there. Could be struggling with the tire temperatures. I think Rico is going to set up this move. He has ERS and DRS, and he's going to go around the outside. Is it going to be a clean move? It will be for Rico into 4th. Nice move from Rico. As we have Remco and Hakitagi battling it out. Remco in 6th. As Pawn also gets ahead of Gian there with the out of DRS.
I think Dasan is even catching up now with the battling up ahead. So he's gonna be a threat, especially when you had that bit of a race practice in the quali. So he knows how the hards work.
You're absolutely right. I think it actually may have benefited him in this Grand Prix. You really just need that confidence. I think it's such a technical track, Singapore. It's very easy to just... It's very easy to honestly just tap the wall. Sometimes you get a little too greedy and you could really be punished for it, especially, you know, given that it's a street track, street circuit. As we come now into lap 12. Remco is leading this DRS train. Actually, Hakitagi would be the one leading it, as he is outside DRS of Remco. See if anyone tries to make any moves. It doesn't look like anyone is close enough yet. And again, Desi just not quite able to get ahead of Fischer.
Yeah, and Yaya is now being pushed out of the DRS of Rico. So those hards don't feel too great, I think. Might even be damage, we don't know. But he's been falling back quite a bit in the race.
Yeah, for sure. I think he is really struggling out there because his teammate Adesi is still in 2nd place. So he does seem to have issues of his own. Joe Muller's kind of in no man's land right now. He broke the DRS of Rico, but he's got a big gap to make up ahead for the race victory. Adesi or Fischer, I think he's going to be hoping maybe for a safety car of some kind. Some sort of intervention, godly intervention to try and close the gap to the drivers ahead. So at the moment, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to fight for the win at the moment.
Oh, and Ferro dude went a bit deep. And yeah, he was almost out there as he's been feeling quite a bit of pressure behind with Dasan out there. So he's being put under pressure to maybe overtake Hakitagi up ahead, as he has fallen back from Renko.
Now Hakitagi is doing a pretty good job at the moment defending. Without that Ada DRS, it's pretty difficult.
Ferrell is around.
Ferrell just spun round right in front of us there. Now down in 11th place. He just lost the car there. I think he went a little too aggressive on the throttle. That's him now down into 12th. He was having such a good race up until that point. That's very unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo driver.
That's the hard tires for you. When you lose traction, you got no chance of saving it, especially in such a high-speed corner.
And I think Dason is looking to make a move here. He's using up all of his battery. He's going to try go round the outside here on Hakitagi, giving each other just enough room. But he's going to have to back out of that one. Hakitagi still into 7th. Dason used a lot of his battery there.
Yeah, that's... he has to be sure that he can get out of the DS as well. That's the thing, because if not, he's just going to be under pressure again, and he's not going to be able to gain anything out of this.
Yeah, the DRS is just so crucial on this track, because it's not easy to overtake, and you're going to need everything you can get to try and make a move work. I think Hakitagi moved wide there on that corner. I'm not quite sure. They didn't look like he quite made it there properly. And Dason's just all over the back of him here at the moment.
It looks like the Haas driver is struggling quite a bit for grip, as the hard tires are starting to feel quite bad, as Dason is even touching him there.
I think Dason's got a lot more pace in him. He had to lift off the throttle there through the final corner. He might look to make a move now on this next one. PW Jones getting ahead of his teammate. Ben Mills is going into the pits now for a fresh set of tyres. So we're going to see now, can Hagi Tagi stay ahead of Dason after this corner? Oh, Dason slides around the corner there, and that might actually leave him vulnerable now to Makalako. But the superior straight line speed is just going to be too powerful, and he's actually going to try to make a move now on Hagi Tagi. Dives down onto the inside this time, and he pushes Hagi Tagi off the track, still going wheel to wheel here. Hagi Tagi now has the inside for his line, giving each other the room, giving each other the space. And Dason is going to be open to 7th, but he goes a little deep into that corner, and Hagi Tagi might just try to come back at him here now. He's going to dive down here into this braking zone, using up the curb. Still wheel to wheel here between these drivers, but Dason had to back out there, and Hagi Tagi, really good defensive driving there from him. From the Haas driver now into 7th place, still holding on to 7th.
Yeah, there was some great driving there by the both of them, as they gave the respect as you don't see often in esports driving nowadays. Very great driving by the both of them, as Makalako had a great view from just behind.
Just got to watch the action all by themselves. They will try to make the best of an opportunity if it comes up, because of course all that battling, easy for either of them to make a mistake and Makalako to just swoop in, take the spoils. Desi about 6/10 off Fisher for the lead consistently every lap, but just not quite able to make a move. Yeah, I think they're reserving the ERS for the moment. They're pulling just a nice gap. I think they're kind of just working together here. I don't think they really need to battle with each other. I think they're building a really nice gap. The Joe Mulders in 3rd, 5.6 seconds ahead. So honestly, I think they're just chilling. I think they're happy with the positions they're in for now. But once we get to the final stages of the race, that's when we're going to see some really fierce battling for the race victory. Dason now going wheel to wheel with Hagi Tagi. He's going to go for a move once again. Dives down onto the inside. Hagi Tagi's forced off the track. Marbles on his right tyre there. But Dason gets ahead now into 7th. He finally gets ahead there of Hagi Tagi. And Makalako again watching at the back here.
And Jones is now caught up with all that fighting, as he's gonna be I don't know if he's even got a pit, because all this fighting is losing seconds, I think. Especially as Hagi Tagi is now starting already to fall back from Dason.
Yeah, I think all that battling is really just putting a wrench in some of these drivers' plans. Still some really great racing, you know, some nice respect shown from all these drivers so far anyway. I mean, bar the ones I've gone to incidents, but so far, you know, it's been some really good racing actually here in Singapore. Adesi now, interestingly, 4/10 off Fisher. Could they possibly make a move here? I'm not quite sure. It might not be possible. Again, on those mediums, they're only going to get slower compared to those hards as we continue this Grand Prix until they pit again.
Yeah, quite a bit slight there for Adesi, so he's definitely going to be trying to stay behind as well this time. I think the medium's actually starting to fall off, as I think he's gonna maybe even pit this lap, as we are halfway through the race distance now.
Yeah, so Dason is leading this DRS train of Hagi Tagi, Makalako and PW Jones. We'll see if they can hold on to this position. We're about halfway through the Grand Prix here at the moment. We'll see how it plays out. So it's currently Fisher and Adesi in 1st and 2nd, leading kind of by themselves. Joe Muller is kind of in no man's land. This is Rico actually, because they've pulled out of the DRS of Yaya, who's pulled out of the DRS of Remco, and Remco's pulled out of the DRS of Dason. So a lot of these drivers kind of just chilling by themselves here at the moment. I think some of them would be pretty happy for a safety car right about now, but doesn't look like that might be happening yet. And Dason's actually pulled out of the DRS of Hagi Tagi, which could be really, really crucial to try and catch up to the drivers ahead.
Yeah, he's definitely falling a bit back. I think he's struggling quite a bit on tires now, as Yeah, both tires are gonna be ruined by now. And the Desi still stays out as Yaya gets a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, Yaya's really struggling for grip out here, to be honest. I think sliding around in some of these corners, the hards are starting to fall away from him a bit, and I think he might have made a mistake then, of course, from that. And Remco has pulled a bit of a gap now. Decrease the gap between himself and Yaya. As Makalako and Hakitagi are going to be battling it out. Makalako tried to make a move. He's forced off the track there, but he does get ahead of Hakitagi now into the next braking zone. Bit of fierce driving there from Hakitagi, really trying to defend their position. But it's going to be Mako now into 8th. As PW Jones watches on in 10th.
Yeah, Hakitagi might even struggle on the ES now with all that defending he's done. As he's going quite a bit deep there. That might even help Jones. Oh, and he just teleported behind, I think.
Yeah, I think that was some issue there with the game. Unfortunately, now he's lost out massively now. 2.5 seconds behind. That is really, really unfortunate. Nothing Hakitagi could really do there. That is super, super unfortunate. Now down in 10th. Yeah, pretty much everyone is kind of pulled out of the DRS of each other now at this point.
Yeah.
Except, of course, for Desi, who's keeping up well with Fischer. Actually, really, really impressive drive here so far from a Desi, because even on those mediums who are falling away from him every single lap, he is still consistently in that DRS of Fischer. So it's really, really good stuff there, and they're just saving all the battery. So it's really, really good stuff here, honestly. Ben Mills now ahead of Feral Dude. Feral Dude has decided to pit this lap for the fresh set of medium tires now. I think we're going to start seeing more drivers pitting for new tires.
So there's a yellow flag, and that's gonna be a safety car, and that is for Isaac as he has spun in the last sector, and that's very unlucky for Feral Dude.
Yeah, he spun around.
Pit stop.
And that is, Isaac actually couldn't even get the car rotate there. He lost all of his front wing. That is really not ideal there for Isaac, and unfortunately, again, Feral Dude's luck just keeps on getting worse. Now lost out literally at the worst possible time there with that safety car, with that pit stop of his. So we're going to see now what everyone switches to. I'd imagine Fischer probably going to be going onto the mediums and Adesi on the hards. But that's going to bring the whole field right back up to each other. So it's going to make this race a lot more interesting now. Because Adesi and Fischer, I think they weren't really hoping. I think they were kind of praying there wasn't going to be a safety car, because they were honestly just having a great time there. Just chilling out at the front. No pressure from behind or anything. But now the safety car, it's going to bring everyone right back up to each other. So there's going to be, and especially it's going to be later on in the race as well, so people are going to be even more desperate to try and make a move. Try to get track position. So that's going to be a Desi onto the fresh hard tires. And Fischer on the fresh mediums. Rico, actually no, doesn't get ahead there of Joel. Joel's still in third. Just getting
almost
ahead there.
got ahead.
Yep. Just got ahead there, Remco. I think PW Jones actually jumped Mako in the pits. Or
Yeah,
maybe he was always ahead.
No, he jumped. Oh, yeah. No, he still had to pit Jones.
I think he's serving a penalty of some kind. He's still stuck in the pits. I think Jones, interestingly, is going for... I thought I saw softs there, but he's actually going for the mediums.
Yeah. And Ben Mills is on the mediums as well.
I don't think Feral did his lost like too much. I think he's actually gained a few positions. He's up into 11th now. I think when the safety car came out, he was in 14th or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe he was further down the order, but it's not a complete disaster for Feral Dude either. He is going to be again close back up to the points positions. He's only in 11th, so he's just outside the points. So that is still a really good chance now to recover and get back into positions he lost. As T passes Pawn in the pits. And ahead of Datu as well. So once these drivers catch up there, everyone's quite dispersed around the track here at the moment, so it will take a lap or two before everyone catches back up and the safety car comes in.
Yeah, definitely. As everyone is able to save their battery now again. So all the saving that Desi and Fisher did wasn't really needed, if you can say it like that.
Yeah, I think they definitely, even though they're in first and second, I do think they're actually might be one of the biggest losers from the safety car, because they were saving a bunch of ERS and they had a big gap, not only just to Joel, but to honestly everyone else, because even Joel was 5 seconds behind, 5 seconds ahead of the driver behind him. So they pulled a really massive gap to the rest of the field, and now it is just shrunk to pretty much nothing now. So it's definitely a bit of a tricky situation here for Fisher and Desi, but if they can just keep it clean, have a nice clean start, just get the jump on everyone, because they do seem to have the pace, I think, definitely to win this race. But I think they definitely got to watch out for Joel and Rico, because they are very, very quick. They just couldn't quite close the gap when it mattered because they didn't have the GRS. So now that has been put back into the equation, it could really change things up here. Yeah, still with time penalty as well. I think it's 3 seconds for track limits, so again, not ideal for Yaya. I think again, Yaya was struggling for grip out there as well, but they are on the medium tires. Everyone else, bar Joel, Rico and Desi, are on fresh medium tires, so they will actually have to watch out for drivers behind, especially on these first few laps anyway, because they're going to be all over the back of them with that extra bit of grip. So we're still waiting on a couple drivers. I think that's Fergal. No, that is T. 15 seconds behind at the moment. And then Datu. Yeah.
Yeah. Might be one more lap with safety car. They're even pushing to try and catch up.
Yeah, we're just very, very far behind at the moment. I think some people had wing damage. I mean, I know Isaac obviously calls that safety car down 17th, but still ahead of Crappy. Crappy is down in 18th at the moment. Not having the best of races, but with the safety car comes a new opportunity, and with about probably 11 laps to go, I'd say, when the safety car comes in.
Yeah, definitely struggled quite a bit this race, Crampy. Had quite a decent qualifying, if I remember correctly. Just fell a bit behind in the race. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. No, because I think Crampy got caught into an incident. I think he made a mistake, and I think he did cause. I think it was was there a virtual safety car at this race? I can't remember. I know there was a safety car earlier.
Was a virtual, I'm pretty sure, in the start of the race.
Yeah, but he lost that there, unfortunately. He was running, I think, in like 6th or 7th. He was really up there fighting for the points, but ever since that incident, then I think he's just been really struggling at the back of the field. But yeah, I think a lot of these drivers, not everyone's been having the greatest of days, but Peter Jones actually doing very well for himself. Now into 9th, and again, I think got unlucky off lap 1. I think Peter Jones actually qualified around where he is right now.
Qualified 7th.
Yeah, qualified 7th. Haggy Taggy, Peter Jones basically lost 2 positions. But Dayson and Makalako, the 2 biggest winners here in this race, actually. 10 positions gained for Dayson and 11 for Makalako. From the back of the grid now, all the way up into pretty much the middle of the points there. Especially Dayson. Dayson had a very interesting qualifying, again, going on those hards. And I think that might have actually standed to him, because now he's up into 7th. So whatever he did, it seems to be working anyway. L plan seems to be working for Dayson here. And Remco gaining 4 positions down 6. A really solid drive there. Yeah, I'd say probably the biggest loser out of probably the top 5 drivers. With 3 positions lost. He qualified 2nd on the grid, now down 5th. And with a penalty. And I think Joel as well doing very solid. 3 positions gained. Now into 3rd. With Adesi jumping his teammate, Yaya. Now into 2nd, and again just chilling, following Fisher this whole Grand Prix. And we'll see how he fares on this restart. I reckon, yeah, safety car is going to be coming in this lap now. We're going to be finally back to racing. I think, man, safety car laps are brutal in Singapore. They are just so very slow.
Yeah, and Isaac is at the back. I think he spun. So he's catching up again, but the safety car is gonna be in no matter what now.
I'd say yeah, we'll probably catch up in time.
Yeah.
Let's see what Fisher does again, leading a safety car restart once again in this Grand Prix. Had a very clean start, both at the beginning of this race when the lights were out and the first safety car. So we'll see if he can replicate that on those medium tyres, with the Desi on the hards behind him, with Joel and Rico as well. And Fisher has started this Grand Prix once again. We're back to racing, ladies and gentlemen. Getting a very clean start there. Desi in 2nd. And Remco again had a bit of a look there, but not quite able to make a move yet. Feraldine gets a 5-second time penalty. Just not his weekend today, guys. Really not Feraldine's weekend. Really unfortunate there for the Alfa Romeo driver. So Adesi got a nice clean start, but I think Yaya might try to make a move there on Rico. Not quite close enough actually, so still in 5th place. They'll really want to make up positions there because of that time penalty, build as much of a gap as possible. But yeah, it's going to be Fisher breaking outside the DRS already in this first lap. It's not even been, haven't even reached the 3rd sector yet. So Desi will be leading the next DRS train with Joel, Rico and Yaya. And
Joel might struggle a bit on those hard tires. I see he was so used to the mediums.
We can see that with Yaya on the mediums. Might have a look there. Rico goes defensive, which is going to compromise his exit there. So Yaya's definitely going to be setting up for an overtake pretty soon. All the medium runners really going to want to try get ahead of 2nd to 4th place. If the hard runners can just withstand this pressure, they might just be set. As Isaac gets a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, and Rico is already out of the 1 second of Joe. And Fisher just keeps pulling a gap.
And Fisher just leading this Grand Prix expertly here, to be honest. I mean, pretty flawless performance here so far. But we'll see now. I think Rico is really struggling on those hards. He's going to be under a lot of pressure here from Yaya, Remco, and possibly even Dason as well. But Yaya is actually under a bit of pressure here from Remco. They both have a look, but again, not quite close enough. I reckon probably in the next lap or two. Oh no, but here comes Remco. Diving down the inside, has a bit of a look, a little bit of contact there between the drivers.
Oh, and down!
Yaya's no-go is in the wall! That is going to be a safety car here, lap 22. Oh, that is so unfortunate. They made contact there. Oh, that was so unfortunate. I think that was Makalako in the Red Bull. Had a look on the inside, got a little greedy there. And just couldn't quite keep it clean. And that is really unfortunate for Yaya. That is going to be race over for the McLaren driver. Started 2nd on the grid, now out of this race. And it is going to be another safety car. Oh, that is so unfortunate.
Remco has damage as well, so yes.
Oh, sorry, that was Remco who made contact,
yeah.
Was it? Sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
Apologies, Marco. Apologies, it was Remco. Yeah, that is really unfortunate.
Wrong yet. Didn't kill anyone yet, don't worry.
Yeah, no, didn't kill anyone. That was my mistake. Marco did really well. Marco the goat. Marco the goat. P6. Oh, that is so far. I was personally rooting for Yaya, man. Rooting for a clean McLaren 2-3 performance, but unfortunately didn't quite pan out. And unfortunately, I reckon Remco will probably get some sort of punishment for that post race. But yeah, and that's Gian actually leaving. I wonder, did Gian disconnect? I'm gonna send them an invite. I mean, I hope I have them. Yeah, I do. Oh, that is really unfortunate to see. It was really close racing there between everyone, but looks like Fisher will once again have to do another restart. Fisher just honestly driving really, really well. He has just kept clear of any incidents whatsoever. He's had a really clean start. So has Adesi as well. They've both been driving fantastically so far this Grand Prix. And yeah, not a whole lot else left to say, unfortunately, as we have another safety car. Hopefully we won't have to wait as long now for this one. So many safety cars this race.
I think it'll be one lap on the safety car, and then it's gonna go this lap and then one more. So basically 2 laps.
Yeah. Yeah, we just have about a group of 4 cars, I believe it is. Pawn, Remco, T, and Isaac. Just trying to catch up to the safety car.
Some drivers opting to go on a soft tire now with Pawn and T.
Oh yeah, interesting actually. I did not realise that. I wonder if anyone up the front, would they pit for softs? I mean, I don't know. I think that's a very risky. You know, there's still, I mean, there's about probably going to be about 7
laps. Yeah,
laps
7 laps, I think.
6 or 7 anyway. So like the softs might work, but again, the track position seems to be just so crucial on this track because honestly, I mean, Fisher and Adesi have just been chilling. They've just been chilling at the front. Yaya's left. Yeah, Yaya's going slow. It's really.
It's a bit mad.
That is really painful. That is really painful to see, unfortunately.
Very unlucky to catch and stream as well.
No, that's racing anyway. It happens, unfortunately. As a professional murderer myself, I feel for him. I feel for him. Yeah, I reckon next, I think we'll have one more lap of safety car. I think this will be the last lap of safety car because I think the rest of the field now is catching up. Colin just about 5 seconds off the rest of the field, so should be good to go, I think, in this lap.
Definitely.
Oh, Pawn's going for the pits again. Maybe they're going to retire. Yeah, ignoring yellow flags. I wonder, are they going to retire? No, go fresh softs again.
Oh, a new wing for Pawn.
Interesting. Well, I don't think the safety car is going to wait around for them, will it?
No, it won't. But they'll definitely catch up.
Yeah, so T and Pawn lost their mastery, so I guess we'll check the position changes. So Dason and Mako again improving even more now. 12 positions gained for Dason and 6 for Mako Lako. 2 really good drives there from Red Bull and Mercedes. And really good performance actually for Mercedes as well, with Joel in 3rd as well. So it's currently 3rd and 5th. Some really solid constructors points here. And same for AlphaTauri. Fish and Rico still in the same position they started in 1st and 4th. So as it stands right now, AlphaTauri will be the biggest winner here at this Grand Prix in terms of points. But it can change very, very quickly, as we've seen with Yaya. It can all just go in just one corner.
And Ben Mills still in 10th place, so he's quite far down.
Yeah, Ben and PW Jones down 1 position each from where they started. So they started 7th and 9th for the Williams. Strangely, uncharacteristically low there for Ben Mills, or I believe is still a championship leader. No, not the greatest of races here for Ben at the moment. Only going to be getting 1 point so far from this Grand Prix. I mean, well, I suppose Ferrell Dude also has a penalty, who's actually up to 9th still. Not sure how Feral Dude has pulled this off, but he's still at 9th place. 5 positions gained here for Feral Dude. He has just gotten really unlucky this Grand Prix. He's got everything thrown at him, to be honest. Even with that unlucky pit just before the safety car came out. Still in the points.
And we're going for another lap. Pricing.
Another lap.
And I think he might be going on to softs now. Yeah, the softs will definitely be alright to the end now. If you can keep them in the temperature window, they should be good. As he's gonna serve a penalty as well, I think.
Yeah, I think he did.
Crampy is now up into P13 after his misfortune in the first few laps.
Yeah, he's actually he's lost 8. I was about to say gain, but unfortunately he's lost 8 positions from where he started. Still P13, not too bad anyway, considering all the stuff that's happened. Still a good opportunity, again, a great opportunity for any of these drivers to really gain track position. If they're gonna, honestly, I think if any driver's gonna be making moves, it's gonna be now on this restart, because it's clear Fisher and Desi are just gonna be pulling, and Joel as well, I think, just pulling massive gaps straight out of the DRS immediately.
Yeah, and I think even the hard tires is gonna be alright. As you can push as hard as you want without I think you don't have to worry about the temperatures on the hard tires, they just work. But the grip is quite low.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think also they might even have to worry too much about tire wear, because again, you know, Fish is on the medium, so Fish is going to be under a bit more pressure now, because this was really the window where Fisher was supposed to be pulling a gap with those mediums before they start falling off, but safety car is coming in this lap. So Fisher once again is going to be restarting this Grand Prix. Desi, Joel and Rico all on the hard tires while everyone else is on mediums. So this is where I think Desi, Joel and Rico will probably have a bit better position than they were before. But we'll see how it pans out, of course. They'll have to get the move done on track. Fisher still is not gone yet. We'll see when Fisher decides to go.
Might be trying to catch a Desi off guard here, as he's already going now.
So
quite
Fisher,
a decent gap to Desi, but not his best restart.
yeah, really solid start there. Rico had a look there in drum holders, not quite close enough yet. Really desperate to try and get ahead there.
Yeah, and Dawson is putting pressure onto Rico as well, as he's just behind him on those medium tires. And that might be even try and go for a dive here. Oh, he's gonna stay behind.
And Mills and Feral Dude had a bit of a scrap there, but Feral's still in 9th place. Yeah, so far
is getting pressured by June behind as well.
Yeah, Ben under a bit of pressure here at the moment. He doesn't really have to worry about Feral Dude too much, because Feral has that penalty, but of course his teammate PW Jones is just ahead of him, so he's really going to want to try and get ahead, at least be his teammate here if he can. But here is Dason and Rico going wheel to wheel here. Dason will try to go around the outside here. Is there going to be contact? Nope. Dason does get ahead there of Rico. That was a really solid move from Dason. They kept it nice and clean. It's now Mercedes 3 and 4. Nice move there from Dason.
Yeah, the extra grip of the mediums definitely helped there, as Rico is gonna be under pressure now from behind with Bekaleko on the mediums as well.
Looks like
hard team to struggle with a Desi even falling off of Fisher by a second. I
think you're right there. We'll see what happens now going down towards turn 7 after this corner. This will be turn 5, I believe. Turn 5 or 6.
Yeah. McCulloch is quite close on to Rico, but stays behind. Don't want a stupid incident and get a penalty, as they are in a quite comfortable position right now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really wants to make too many risks, but they also only have 4 laps to go. I think we'll see a ton of battling going on in the last 2 laps of the Grand Prix. I think that's where we're really going to start seeing the action. Everyone, I think, just try to conserve, I think, as much ERS as they can before those final 2 laps. But Hacky Taggy putting under pressure there on... Oh, that's Ben Mills. That is Feral Dude into the wall, or at least has spun round.
Oh,
Feral Dude, no, there we hits the wall.
And
oh, that's another
safety car.
safety car. It's another safety car here in Singapore. Feral Dude losing out again. Now down in 16th place.
It didn't look intentional at all. I think he just had a bit too much speed as he wanted to turn the car around. As the marshals now had to clear the debris, but that's very unfortunate. He was doing quite alright in that 9th place. Was it contact between Ben and Ferro?
I wonder, because I think Ben might have been trying to make a move, but I'm not quite sure. That's... Rico is coming into the pits here. I think he could be going in for a fresh set of softs, it looks like.
Yeah, he was falling quite far behind with those hard tires. They weren't feeling too great, I think. So he's gonna try his luck by going up the field, as some drivers behind him are in the pits as well. So he won't lose out massively. He's just gonna be very aggressive at this restart.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost a lot of track position. I wonder if anyone else ahead will also follow suit and maybe pit as well, but I think for the most part, I think most people probably stay on the tire they're currently on. Yeah, that's interesting, because yeah, we have a lot of drivers actually towards the back of the grid anyway, going for fresh softs. Yeah, I think Rico will try to make up as much positions as he can, but can he make up? I mean, where did he was in 5th place, I believe, before he pitted, right?
5th place, just ahead of Michael.
Yeah, I wonder, can he make his way all the way up there, and just, I reckon it's only going to be 1 or 2 laps. 2 laps at most, probably, of the safety car.
2 laps, I think.
For racing, yeah.
Yeah, as Paradise is all the way behind now, with that mistake, with losing the front wing, and that's very unlucky. He's had a target on his back this entire race.
Yeah, unfortunately, Feraldin has just been he's just been annihilated by bad luck and personal mistakes. He's just not been having best race here so far. It's really, really unfortunate for Feraldin. Just can't seem to catch a break, to be honest.
Yeah, we've had quite a few safety cars now. It was quite clean in the start of the race with only 1 safety car, and then I think we had even 15 laps without a safety car. Now it's been 3 safety cars in the span of
probably 8 laps or something like that. Something crazy like that. It's been about probably 1 racing lap and then like 2 or 3 safety car laps in comparison.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see how it works out. Fisher, once again, will be, I reckon, safety car. Do you think it'll probably come in this lap, at the end of this lap now?
definitely be in this lap. As everyone is back up.
Everyone's caught back up to the safety car now. So, we'll once again be getting a safety car restart. The field is so very close to each other now. This is where everyone is going to go absolutely crazy. They're just going to be throwing everything they have at the board, at the wall, trying to make as much positions as they can. PW Jones and Ben Mills now improving to 7th and 8th position. Pretty good recovery, actually, for the 2 Williams. But Dason having a really good race so far. In 4th place again, as is Mako. Gained a ton of positions. They started this race towards the back of the grid. So there's really good stuff there. And we'll see how it all pans out.
That P5 is really impressive with that unlucky disqualification in qualifying.
That's right, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, Makalako actually... I think did Mako start last on the grid?
Yep. Dead last.
Dead last on the grid. That is actually really, really impressive. And still more positions to be gained here as well. Could make the move on Dason, but we'll see. Safety cars coming in this lap. Just one last sector to go before we finally go racing. And there won't be any more safety cars, thankfully, after this. So we'll have at least 2 more racing laps to go. So I'm sure there'll probably be a ton of action that I will probably just miss because, you know, incredible TV direction. But I'll do my best. We'll try. We'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of chaos, I reckon.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be... people are going to be very aggressive as it's basically a sprint now to the end.
Fish on those mediums will be leading this restart. And Fisher has started this race one last time here in Singapore. Very nice restart there. Adesi in 2nd, Joel in 3rd, and his teammate Dason behind, just 2 tenths behind in 4th. Followed by Mako, Hagi Tagi, PW Jones, who's going wheel to wheel there with his teammate Ben Mills. And Ben gets ahead there of PW Jones into 7th place. Some really, really close battles going on here all the way throughout the grid.
That's Remco up in P9 as well.
Yep. And Dason is going to try to make a move here on Joe Mullers. Has a look there on the inside, but not quite close enough. Joel's still in 3rd place. The 2 Williams scrapping it out there for 7th place. Ben got the jump there on his teammate on the restart. Yeah, really solid stuff here. 2 more laps to go. Everyone is going to be fighting as hard as they possibly can to try and make up positions. Joel on those hards is struggling quite a bit. So I think the medium runners still have that bit extra pace there. Bit extra grip.
Yeah, this is keeping closer to Fisher than he did in under the last few safety car restarts. So he looks to have found some pace in the hard tires. Or maybe even Fisher's medium tires have lost some pace.
It's very possible that could be happening right now because I think we're coming towards that point where the hards might start being a bit better, but Dason sliding around there a little bit on that 2nd last corner. Trying to get ahead of his teammate Joe Mullers. Fisher is going to be leading this Grand Prix on the final lap of Singapore. I believe he's led almost every single lap so far. And Desi is going to be giving it everything he possibly can here. 4 tenths behind. ERS is activated. This is going to be his proper final chance here to take the lead of the race. He's going to have ERS and DRS. Can he make the move here on Fisher? He's not quite close enough. Fisher is still holding on to the lead of this race. As is Joel holding on to 3rd and Mako still in 5th. Fisher is under quite a lot of pressure here from Adesi. Adesi gave it everything he could there, but he couldn't quite make the move yet. And so far, Fisher could be winning this Grand Prix if he can just keep it to the end, as Isaac retires on the last lap of this race. And Dason putting on a ton of pressure here on Joe Mullers. Braking so much later, just gaining so much time. He might try to make a move through this corner. He's got ERS. He's in the slipstream here, Joe Mullers. Will he make one last dive bomb? He has a look there on the inside, but Joel stays ahead into 3rd. Fisher currently is doing a really good job here. He's coming through these last few corners. Fisher has driven excellently here today. Kept it real clean, as has Adesi. Both of these drivers have driven fantastically, but the race can only be won by one. And as Fischer rounds the final corner, he is going to win the Singapore Grand Prix. It is an incredible performance from Fischer. Adesi comes home for McLaren for second, as Joel gets third place for Mercedes, with Dason closely finished behind in fourth. And Makalako and Dason showing a really impressive drive. Makalako from last on the grid to fifth. Really impressive drive. It was an incredible end there to the race. Fischer did really well, I think, to hold on to first place. Really good stuff there from all the drivers.
Yeah, definitely. Great race as well. Not too many incidents. And we had some quite close racing as well.
Yeah, some really good battles actually from some of these drivers. It's really hard to try and get that here in Singapore, and we saw some really good battles. It is going to be Fischer taking the victory here in Singapore. Adesi and Joe Molders in second and third respectively. Joel decreasing the gap there to his championship rival Ben Mills, but Fischer putting on a really superb performance here. That is going to be it for the 5th round of the season. Really great race here from all these drivers. Really clean racing. Some really good stuff here from everyone. Yeah, Desi clutching up for McLaren with the second place finish. I think it might be a Grand Slam actually. If Fischer takes the fastest lap as well, it could be a Grand Slam there, I think, for Fischer. Desi in second, Joe Mollers third, and Dason and Makalako recovering a ton of positions. I think that was Dason started 17th on the grid, Makalako started last. And Remco doing well as well. Ben Mills up into 6th, Remco in 7th, started 10th. And yeah, really good race there from everyone. Really good stuff. Yeah, hopefully that was a good race for you guys. Hopefully it was entertaining. And we will be here for Silverstone next Monday for the 6th round of the season. Of course, if you're looking for something much sooner, we'll be having Tier 2 Silverstone in just 2 days' time. Same time as this stream as well, just on a Wednesday. So do check that out as well if you have the time, or even the highlights, the YouTube. And again, as well, Discord is there if you want to actually join the community. You know, if you're thinking, I might want to drive in one of these tiers, then definitely go check out that link. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It's been a lot of fun.